Who's ready for a little story time with Jared and Britt?
Story time, baby.
Oh, and Finn. Oh boy, don't hit my mic, Finn. This could be a disaster.
This took us forever to set up, Finn. It might have taken us at least an hour.
Do you guys like our little mic setup right here?
Like that, huh? Start of something to come.
I actually have to hurry and show you this really quick. So I found these dollar glasses at Target. I don't know if you can see. They're like light blue. You can tell in Jared's more because, you know, he's drinking water.
Do you see what hers is actually filled with?
Yeah, what do you think mine's filled with right here? Diet Coke.
Prune juice?
Oh, no.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, it is the beginning of the year, so. But you know, we needed something to keep our vocal cords nice and hydrated.
That's right, baby.
Not that Diet Coke does that.
Yeah, I'm doing it right.
So, you guys, we thought it would be super fun to do something that we've never done before.
Yeah.
And do a little story time on things you've probably never heard about us. We haven't done a Q&A in a really, really long time.
Yeah, no,
we probably should do an updated one. Let us know down below if you guys want to see a Q&A, kind of an updated one for us. But today, boy, do we have 2 stories for you.
That would be really fun to share with you guys.
Yeah, just total random stories.
Plus, it let us practice on these things.
Yeah, try and get used to the podcast.
These are kind of awkward.
I know. I'm like trying to like move Finn's on my lap, like, oh boy.
We have some really fun stories coming up, and we have 2 in particular that are, we'll probably just start off with 2. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we're going to start off with 2, one each. We were talking before this, we're like, okay, what's like some unique stories about us that they probably won't know that are like entertaining to hear? Should I go first with mine?
Yeah, ladies first,
We were thinking going with, mine's kind of an intense, scary story.
It is. Brittany first told me this, I think, when we were dating, and I was like shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But Jared's story, I actually don't know this. He says he has a funny one from when he was younger.
I thought I've told you this before, but I guess not.
He started telling me, he's like, wait, I want to get my raw reaction on the video. So I don't know. I don't really think I know this story. So
about to find out. Grab
a snack, grab a drink, get comfy, because I'm about to tell you a real life story that happened to me. So let's rewind back to when I was little Brittany, 18 years old, fresh out of high school pretty much. I've talked about this a little bit before, how I actually went out to Switzerland, and I was a nanny, au pair, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't like sign up for that. It kind of just randomly fell into my lap. Some family friends of ours, of my parents actually, they had relatives over there, and they asked their friends, my parents' friends, if they knew of anyone that would want to come over and be their nanny. And so anyways, they thought of me, reached out to me. And you guys, I have to tell you, when I was younger, I was so shy. I was timid. I've definitely gotten more and more. I'm still on the shy side, I would say, especially until you get to know me.
A lot of people don't know that about Britt. She actually is on the shy side.
I know, I'm more on the quiet side until you get to know me, which is funny because, yes, we have a YouTube channel. Yes, we share our life pretty much every day.
Yeah.
So anyways, back then they asked me, and I was like, you know what, that would actually be a really cool opportunity before college to go move to a different country. Little did I know, homesickness, all that stuff would kick in. But pretty much I went, and you guys, it was the greatest experience of my life. Honestly, I loved it. I actually nannied for 4 little kids under the age of 8. So it was kind of crazy, kind of busy. I absolutely loved them. It was such an amazing time, but there were some pretty crazy stories that happened while I was there. So the one I'm going to share today, this was probably like 3 months into being there, maybe 4 months. I don't remember the exact month this happened, but I had met some friends while I was out there. So I nannied 3 days a week.
Who are these friends? What are their names? Social security numbers.
Oh my gosh. No, so I actually only nannied 3 days. I think it was like 3.5 days a week, sometimes 4 times a week. So I had some free time, and I got to do a lot of fun things. I got to see amazing places, which was incredible. But I met some friends over there. It was actually part of like a youth group, and we would go to different places. And anyways, one night I was going to town, and you have to understand, over in Switzerland, I lived in a tiny little town called Nidau. And from there, I would take a bus to the bigger city called Biel. And from there, I would take a train into the capital city. That's where like my friends were meeting, which was like a 30-minute train ride away. Anyways, one afternoon, I met up with them. We were hanging out in Biel, had a fun time. And then I was going back to the train station in Biel. It was getting dark. It was like probably 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I had never really been out that late by myself before. Usually I was like with the family or with a friend, but it just so happened my friend that lived near me, she wasn't there that time. So it was just me at this train station. Okay, I want you to picture this. So here's little 18-year-old Brittany, you know, sitting on this bench, and it's dark outside and there's hardly anyone there. Like, this is not a huge town whatsoever. So I'm at the train station waiting for my bus to take me to my little town of Nidau. So I'm in Bill. If any of you guys have been in Switzerland, or maybe some of you are in Switzerland, you may know this. So I'm sitting there. Mind you, I had just watched the movie Taken, probably, I don't even know, at least a few weeks before this. And so I'm actually super grateful that I watched that movie, because before that, I was kind of just like, you know, this little 18-year-old, like, yeah, I'm here, I'm an au pair, da da da. And after that movie, I actually got a fake wedding ring. I was 18. I don't even know why I did this, but I did, because sometimes, you know, guys would say stuff to me and things like that, but I actually got one so people wouldn't like approach me as much, you know? Yeah. And I remember like not to say that like I'm an au pair or anything like that, all from the movie Taken, because it scared me to death, obviously. If any of you guys have seen the movie Taken, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, it's basically about this movie where this girl is kidnapped and taken. And so anyways, you guys, here I am sitting at the train station. I'm waiting for my bus. I don't know, it's probably coming in like 10 minutes. There's signs that say like when the next buses are coming. All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see this group of guys, okay? I was like, oh no, because they're kind of like looking over at me, and I was like, oh no. One of them comes over on this side of me, and he starts asking me questions in German. At that time, I really didn't speak a lot of German, so I just said, oh, I don't speak German. And he's like, oh, you're American. Because you can obviously tell, you know, American accent and everything like that. And I was like, yeah. And I was just like trying to be super short. But I was just getting the creepiest vibes from this guy. And all of a sudden, I see him look over to another guy, and he does a little like head nod. And my heart, you guys, just dropped. I was just like, I don't know what's going on here, but it gives me, I have the cold chills right now. Do you see this?
Yeah.
You guys, it was so really scary. Yes. I just remember that look, and my heart just sank. And I was like, I am in trouble. So he gives this little nod. Another guy, he comes on this side of me walks over and starts talking. And they're talking in a different language. I don't even know what language it was. It wasn't German and it wasn't French, because those are two of the common languages over there. So anyways, they're talking, and I was just like, this is not good. This is not good. Then a few of their other friends or whoever kind of come over, and you guys, my bus pulls up. Now, mind you, I said the little town I lived in, Nidau, like, you don't go there unless you live there. Like, and I had never seen these guys before. So the odds of them like going to Nidau,
chances of going there are extremely slim.
Very slim. Like this, I was at a big train station that lots of buses come to take you to like different towns.
Yeah, like a small town. Everyone knows each other.
So they're all waiting there. There's several buses, but this bus pulls up. I go to get on, and they all come and get on the same bus as me.
Can you imagine that?
And I was just like, oh my gosh, because once I get off the bus, you guys, it's quite a walk to get to where I lived with the family I was living with at the time. And I was like, they are totally gonna either obviously kidnap me. I didn't know, steal from me. Like, so many thoughts are obviously running through my head. I knew that at that moment I would be completely alone at my stop. And so my heart is just racing. I hear them talking in that language, and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do. So I kind of have to laugh at this point, because my little 18-year-old mind at that time was like, okay, I need to like hide my wallet and like put it somewhere, like, because I'm thinking, oh, they're going to like get my wallet or whatever.
Yeah, mug
me, yes.
Wow.
Or who knows what else. Yeah. So as I'm sitting there, all of a sudden, you guys, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, this is all going to go down, and I'm like defenseless, you know?
Oh my gosh.
And they were saying things. I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but it was just like such creepy, scary vibes. I knew I was in real danger. So anyways, I decided, I actually had a thought. I was like, I said a little prayer to myself. I was just like, please let me know what I should do. Like, I don't know what to do. And the thought came to me after that. You need to call Martin, that was the dad of the family that I nannied for, and tell him to meet you at the bus stop. And you guys, at this point, it was probably after 10 at night. I felt so bad because obviously it's late. I knew he'd be asleep. You know, he was actually a doctor. I knew he was so busy. Anyways, and I said, hey, Martin, can you and the guys meet me at the bus stop? There's some guys following me. And I like said it loud and clear. And I was like, and I remember being like so stern in my voice, like not scared and like shaking, which is shocking because I was so scared. And that is just not me. I'm very like timid.
That's incredible.
Isn't that crazy?
I've heard the story a bunch, and it's like just, it's crazy every time I hear this.
He was like, yes, I'll be there. Like, oh my gosh, yes. Like I could just hear it in his voice. And so anyways, you guys, here we are pulling up to my stop, and I see him and actually a neighbor, and they are both running, and he has this long umbrella.
The only weapon they could find.
And he's in his pajamas, and oh my gosh, my heart just seeing like him come and to my rescue, you know, and just knowing someone was there to like help me in that situation. I remember just tears like filled my eyes. We pull up to my stop. The guys obviously see them out there, and I get off and they stay on the bus and they leave, and I was safe. So nothing else came of that.
That honestly is like a story of Taken, but like you were saved.
I was saved, yeah. Wow. And I just, till this day, I can't believe I had that thought. Obviously, it was God prompting me, like giving me that idea. Yes, saying have someone meet you there so you're not alone, because like I said, it was like a 10-minute walk at least. It's pitch black. You're in this tiny little town. There's no like street lights. It's just teeny tiny, you know, in Switzerland. So
oh my gosh, I can't even imagine like what was going through your head at that point.
Can you believe that? It's like honestly to this day, I am so grateful, but it's like one of the craziest things that has ever happened to me. Yeah. By far, easily. Wow. And all thanks to Taken, I was a little bit smarter. Wow. On like what information and everything I would share. And so babe, I'm here today because of who knows, obviously I don't know what would have happened, but you have that sense, you know, when something's not right, and you have to listen to your gut, and that's what my gut was
honestly
telling me.
Can't even imagine that. Like the closest thing I've ever had, and we've shared this once before in our vlog, is that like we had SWAT come over to our house because my roommate was like ODing or I don't know, something like that. He was just out of it. He was taking drugs, and he had a shotgun, and he was basically threatening to kill us, which was super crazy and scary. But that's the closest I could ever come to.
That is a crazy story. Yeah. We've shared that on the vlog one time before.
I'll link the video for you guys.
Link that because it's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I still have actual like pictures, I think, from that we.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we were dating at the time when it happened. Yeah. I remember. So
they were taking a picture of the SWAT team outside.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So they broke the door down.
You guys. So basically, both of us have been through some really crazy situations.
I know, right?
But let me know down below. Do any of you guys have experiences like that, where like you've just listened to like a prompting or your gut and just been in kind of a crazy
we'd actually love to hear like your guys' stories. You know, that could be kind of fun to read over those and maybe even like share one.
That could be really cool if we pick a story to share when we do story times like this. Yeah. I think that could be awesome.
Like the story time idea. Although I think the mic has been covering my face the entire time.
I know, you guys. We don't really know. I don't
know. You know how to set this thing up.
I know. I was like, am I telling it this time?
Can you see me? Is it on me? Okay.
All right, we're gonna figure it out. But let us know. Do you like these little story times?
Yeah.
Or do you have any ideas that could be really fun to share? Things like that. Yeah. So that's the end of my story time. I needed a drink.
You know, as you guys know, we have tons of visitors here, so we could be adding on to more people.
Oh, yeah. Interviewing people, hearing some of their stories too. I like that idea, babe.
My mouth is a little parched myself.
How's that water, buddy?
It's pretty good. Not as good as Diet Coke, but I'll take it.
Okay, I am ready to hear this story. I think we all need, after that intense story, we all need something lighter.
This is more embarrassing and like funny, and it's not as in depth as Brittany, so I'll kind of keep it a little bit shorter.
Oh, sorry, was mine long winded?
Yeah, was it nighttime?
Was I putting you guys to sleep? I'm sorry.
So this one, ironically, here's the thing: is that I have so many like embarrassing things that happen to me that when it comes to playing the game Two Truths and a Lie, a lot of times I win because people don't believe the stuff that happens to me. So like
that is true. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, like one of them, for example, I was once asked to a dance and then unasked to the same dance. That is true. That actually happened to me.
So sad.
Yeah. So speaking of high school, actually that happened in high school. So speaking of high school, I can't remember what age I was, probably 16 years old. I was going to Skyline High School, that's out in Utah, for those who do not know. I remember it was right before a school dance, and there was this one girl I had the biggest crush on.
Who is she? Who is she? Just kidding. I don't want to know her name.
Anyways, but I had the biggest crush on this girl, and I had wanted to ask her to the dance. I was starting to build up the courage. And so like little by little, throughout the week, I was basically saying hi to her, making jokes, and I felt like I was doing really well. Like to the point I was just kind of like, okay, when I ask her, I'm going to have this in the bag. Like there's no question she's not going to say no or anything like that. But it was also kind of getting time where I actually needed to ask because I didn't want her to get asked by someone else.
How old were you?
I think 16.
16, okay.
Yeah, 16 years old.
Okay.
So in our high school, they have like this big like courtyard area, and it's like, kind of connects the two schools together. And there's like, trees out there and like seating areas, and it's like concrete and whatnot. And during that time of the year, it was definitely snowing, like winter outside. And I remember the courtyard would get like really, really icy. To the point that like they'd often have to like salt it down and like try to like scrape up the ice just because it was just so icy. People would often slide back and forth on the ice between the two buildings to see if they could make it the whole length of the courtyard.
Oh my gosh.
And I had kind of set a record of basically making it the whole length. I was pretty proud of that.
Wow. Jared and his records.
Yeah, you like that?
That's pretty.
I also had the jump rope
impressive.
record in case you guys are wondering.
So you were really confident she was going to say yes?
Anyways.
Did she know you held the record of ice sliding?
No, not yet. So when she was actually getting out of her class, she was coming down the steps. I remember this because she was walking across the courtyard, but going very slowly. And I thought it would be so cool. She's coming out of one building, crossing the courtyard. I'm going from the other building, about to cross the courtyard. And I saw her, and I said to my friends, check this out. I'm going to slide right past her and say what's up. Just thinking that was going to be such a cool, like, sly move.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask her to the dance that way.
No, that would have been
okay.
much cooler. But thank goodness I didn't, because she definitely would have said no. So back then, like, it was really cool to have, like, like binders.
No.
Nowadays I think it's like, the one backpack or I don't know, something like that. Who knows?
Oh, we have no idea what's cool.
Maybe it's
Jared.
just an iPad. Who knows? Or holograms.
Yeah. This was forever ago.
Yeah, this was like, back when the calculator was like the T3C90 or whatever that thing was called. Do you remember that thing? Like it was like $100 for that calculator. Anyways,
boy.
so I had everything. I had my binders, I had my books, I had like pens, pencils, because I was pretty studious as well. Anyways, so
stay in school, kids.
Anyways, so I had all this stuff with me because that's just like what a regular class was, so you needed all that stuff. Anyways, I just like got the biggest running start from the one building, hurried and jumped through these double doors, landed on the ice, and I was sliding, and I was feeling so confident. Like it was actually like pretty mesmerizing. Let's put that with magical almost at the point.
Wait, I'm just trying to picture it. Here you are.
Yeah.
You're probably tall back in high school still.
Oh, I haven't grown
right?
an inch since high school.
So Jared's tall. He's like almost 6'4", right?
Yeah.
6'3", really.
I'm 6'3", yeah.
6'3".
6'4" on a good day.
He'd say 6'4".
Yeah.
6'3" kid, you're holding all your stuff in your arms?
Yeah.
Is that
holding
right?
all my stuff in the arms, yeah.
Okay, and then you're...
She's already she's like down the stairs, and she's taken like 2 or 3 steps.
And is she looking at you?
She's looking at me, yeah. And I just knew. And so when I was like sprinting, jumped through like the double doors.
Well,
I'm sliding.
I think anybody would be looking at you to see this guy just charging. Was she looking at you in fright?
No, it was like pure amazement. That's what it was. So I was sliding. And like at this point, she's like kind of like in the middle of like the courtyard area. And I'm starting to get to the middle. And I was just thinking...
That's cute.
It was pretty cute. I was just about to say what's up when literally out of nowhere, I'd have no idea what I hit, but it was clearly something. And I slipped completely, like legs got swept out from underneath me, like almost like I got like hit like an invisible clothesline. Went flying up, literally landed on my back, knocked the wind out of me. All the stuff I had, remember, I have like 4 items, and one of them was like pencils and, all this stuff. And it literally just goes like a full-on like yard sale. Like everything's just falling from the sky. As I literally like, crash down to the floor, go sliding, and I actually make it all the way to the end of the other side of the building.
On your behind.
No, on my back.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
So I slipped, land on my back, come sliding all the way over, end up hitting the steps, and I'm like knocked like the wind out of me. Everyone is laughing, and I'm
Do you
just...
see her reaction?
Yeah, her reaction was just like, are you okay? You know, and I was like, yeah.
Did she help you up?
No.
Oh, that's so sad.
And to make it even worse, came to find out she got asked to the dance a week earlier.
No.
Yep.
So you didn't
Never
even
took
ask
her out to the dance either.
So you never took her out.
Never took her out.
Never went on a date.
Never went on a date.
Oh,
That was the end of that.
Crushed your confidence.
It did. It really did. I
So sad.
had this thing in my mind envisioned it was going to be so incredibly cool, and it was for like the first 50%. And then right when I was about to pass her and say, "What's up?" that's when all heck broke loose.
So nothing even came out of your mouth. You were just sliding, and
I
then
was just about
ate
to.
it.
I took my eyes off of like where I was sliding for just a split second to look at her, and that's when I lost my balance or something. Hit that invisible clothesline, and literally it was just like, boom.
She took your breath away.
She did, literally. The one that got away.
Or the ice took
Just
your
kidding.
breath away.
You catch that.
Oh, wait, what did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Said the one that got away. Joke. Cheers to the joke.
I'm not cheersing that. Vinny just woke up, though. You guys, I was actually wondering if you could hear him snoring. He's been snoring in my lap. I don't think, hopefully the microphone didn't pick it up. But if you hear a slight little snore, it was Vin right here. But babe, that is slash hilarious. And I'm sorry that happened to
Like
you. But
borderline pathetic, yeah.
It's not pathetic.
I have a lot of really fun stories from high school that I don't think I've ever shared with anyone because like I don't usually share that kind of stuff, but maybe I should because I have a lot
I want to
more.
hear him. I've never heard that story.
Yeah.
You've never told me that.
Yeah, that was a pretty embarrassing one. I have lots more, but yeah. Anyways,
Man, I
that's
just
for
hope
another day.
I hope Jared slides for me one day.
I will, baby.
Too bad we're in Florida now and there's no ice.
Slide into your DMs.
Maybe you'll trip on the sand or something. Slide into my DMs. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Babe,
guys.
that was good. That was good. That leaves us all smiling. My cheeks are actually kind of hurt from smiling.
Good story time right there.
I know.
Hopefully I was using this correctly.
I know. Hopefully it sounds okay, you guys. But that's fun. I love this. You know, we were trying to decide what should we do for today's video, and we're like, you know what? We should tell some stories. I think. Hopefully
Honestly,
you guys enjoy it.
Well, we do want to start using these in the future, and so this is like perfect practice for us.
Yes.
You know? And there's often times when people are coming to visit, you guys have said like, oh, we'd love to like get to know about them a little bit more. And so we're like, oh, maybe we could like bust these out as well. And so
practice it.
Yeah.
I know. And the little setup, we were trying to like figure out the lighting and everything.
Yeah,
Obviously,
so we'll get
we're not
this
pros.
all squared away.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let us know, you guys. Do you like this? Give this video a thumbs up if you do. Let us know your thoughts down below. Also, share any just share any kind of story.
Yeah.
And in our next story time, we'll probably do one next week. We will read one of your stories or a couple of your stories.
Ooh, that could
and
be
we'll
pretty
highlight
good.
it.
Yeah.
And I think that could kind of be fun.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Should we have a topic? Maybe we should have a topic. Should we do embarrassing stories? Should we start there?
Let's do embarrassing.
Okay, we'll do share your embarrassing stories down below.
As we start to get a little bit more, comfortable with this, you could sharing maybe your scariest one.
Oh yeah. You guys, I have so many embarrassing stories too.
Yeah.
I felt like, I was very. Anyways, we won't get into all that, but I will share some of those stories in another one. You know some of them.
Some of your embarrassing
My first
ones?
day of high school. Do you remember that one?
No.
Yeah, you do. I've told you before.
I guess I do.
So embarrassing. So embarrassing. But that's okay. I'll save it for another time. So I think we're going to go ahead, wrap up the Jared and Britt story time.
Yeah.
What should we call it? Stories with J and B? J and B story time?
Just story time. I like that.
Just story time. Let's gather around for story time. Eat some good snacks.
Brittany has always been so good at telling stories. Like really, really good.
No,
yes.
I don't feel like I have at all.
Yeah.
Really?
I think
so
you're good.
Nice of you
Yeah.
to say. Yeah.
You know?
Anyways, you guys, we love you. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we didn't put you to sleep like this little guy. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Oh, now you wake up. He's like, are we done? Oh boy, he's getting tangled in the cord. Okay, Finn, I think that's our cue to end it. You guys, we love you, and we'll see you all next time.
See you guys. Love you. Bye.